Employees are backbone of any organization. Organization's performance depends upon the quality of its employees. Attrition analysis is the analysis of employee loss rate. It's very important to understand what are the factors that might affect the attrition so that companies can assess it and bring some measures to keep the good employees. Hello, I'm Vinayshri. Today, Pooja and I are going to talk about the EDA that we did on attrition dataset. So from our data set, we can see that we had total 1,470 employees, out of which 237 have left. So that's almost 16%. So now we need to figure out what are the factors that might affect the attrition, that is making the employees leave. So for that, we have to dig deep into the data. So these are the columns in our data set. We have all these columns. In this, attrition is a label, and age, business travel, and all these other features. So we have to figure out how these features are affecting a label, that is attrition. So when we look at the data set, there are many questions that arise. These are just a few of the questions. For example, is lower monthly income making people leave the company? Or distance from home, is it affecting the employee attrition? Or people who are satisfied in their job, do they have less attrition rate? And since we have many variables, the questions that arise are many. Data science is all about making decisions based on the data. So we can't ignore any of the variables without doing some analysis, because sometimes you'd be totally wrong about your assumptions. So we can't ignore any variables. So in the EDA notebook which we have shared, we have put a step-by-step procedure on how we came up with the 5 factors that affect attrition the most. Since we can't explain everything in 10 minutes, we're only giving high level overview of our EDA. So I'll talk about the approach that we followed to come up with the 5 factors. So first one was get to know the numeric and categorical variables, along with different categories, like what are the categories that are there in our categorical variables. We found out that there were no null values and there was no duplicate values. And the next step was univariate analysis. Univariate analysis was just to see the distribution of each variable. So we have plotted graphs for everything, which everything is available in the EDA notebook, and some of the graphs will be explained by Pooja later. So some of the interesting from our univariate analysis are these. For example, people who earn less are much more than people who earn more in this organization. So there are very less people that earn more. And most of the people stay near the office, and around 1/4 of the people frequently travel. Most of the people don't do overtime in this company, maybe because they are married, because we found that the number of married people are more in this company from the data set that we had. So next, we did bivariate analysis. In this, we compared each variable with attrition, as in we saw how attrition was affecting each variable. We plotted many graphs for each variable. So we found out many insights, but these were this was some of the insights that shocked me, and which I found interesting. For example, people who travel frequently were very less, but whoever traveled frequently had very high probability of leaving the company. And even though the number of female employees are less in the company, being a male or female didn't really affect the attrition much. And single people have very high attrition rate, maybe because they don't mind taking risk, and they like job hopping. They want to take opportunities. They want to try new opportunities. And it looks like people who do overtime don't like doing overtime really, because 30% of the people who did overtime have already left the company. So that's huge. And work-life balance, job involvement, job satisfaction, all this affected the attrition only when it was very less. We had in the data set we had from 1 to 5. On that, only when it was 1, it affected attrition. Otherwise, it didn't affect the attrition more. And what was more shocking for me was distance from home didn't really affect the attrition. So whatever the distance was, people didn't mind. So people who didn't leave. So after plotting many graphs and after doing a lot of analysis on each variable, we found that these 8 factors significantly affected our attrition. So that's overtime, age, business travel, job level, marital status, monthly income, total working years, and years at company. Since we need only 5 factors to do further analysis. So to get the 5 factors out of this, even though all of this significantly affected, we wanted the top 5. So what we did was we plotted correlation of these 8 variables with attrition, and we found that these 5 variables were the ones with highest attrition. I mean highest correlation. So we took these 5 variables and we did further analysis on each of these variables, on how it is affecting with the help of graphs, how attrition is affected by each of these variables, and in the presence of like 2 other variables, how it is affecting. All this will be explained by Pooja. So over to you, Pooja. Thank you.
Thank you, Vinayshi. From our EDA results, we have top 5 variables which are likely to affect the employee attrition. So these are the plots which explains us how the each variable contributes to the attrition. And uh, employees who may quit due to overtime are more greater than people who quit for no overtime. So, under marital status, singles has the highest contribution towards the attrition when compared to marriage and divorce. And in case of job level, people tend to quit at the lower job level one than compared to other levels. So, in case of age, uh, we may say that employees who are quitting are likely to be under mid 32 years when compared to people who are staying in the organization. And from the total working years, we can infer that people are likely to quit with their 1 year of work experience. So, uh, to understand all these factors in a still more deeper way, now we will drill down each variable to understand how this variable is likely to affect the employee's attrition. In case of overtime as an affecting variable, we have considered 3 other variables and analyzed how overtime can be a affecting variables for attrition. So we can differentiate overtime as light green color and without overtime as blue color. In every year, employees quit their job due to overtime, uh, and which is more compared to the employees without overtime. This might be because people who work overtime get lower monthly income than compared to people without overtime. And we can also say that employees who are staying get more monthly income, likely not affect the attrition rate. So, considering overtime variable on employees' age who are working and not working, we can infer that people who are likely to quit are around lower age levels, or that is around 32 years when compared to the people who are staying in the organization. Uh, lower age, we can also say that lower age level people are ready to take risk of quitting the job. From these inferences, we can conclude that employees who are quitting at lower age levels and who receive lower monthly income are likely to quit uh, at the present year and the second year of their current role, which is due to affecting variable over time. Job level as an affecting parameter, we have considered two other variables such as marital status and monthly income to analyze how job level variables can be the affecting variable for attrition. So when we look into the job level plot, we can see that job level 1 has the highest contribution towards attrition when compared to other levels. When we look into the marital status, under each status, job level 1 has the highest contribution towards attrition when compared to other levels. So this can be explained with the help of monthly income. So people who receive lower monthly income uh, tend to leave the organization when compared to the people who are working in the organization. So from all these inferences, we can conclude that uh, people at the lower job level are likely to leave the organization depending upon the inferences we have drawn from the marital status and monthly. For each of the affecting variables, we can consider two other variables such as job level and monthly income to analyze the effect of each on attrition. So employees, this is some summary table for people who are likely to quit at and people who are not likely to quit the job at. So employees who quit at lower job levels are more likely to be at lower levels of age that is below 30 years when compared to people who are working in the organization. You can also see that people who are uh, uh, who quit are clustered around the lower age that is below 32 years uh, and who gets monthly income less than 3,000. So from these inferences, we can conclude that employees tend to quit at early 30s because likely due to their lower job level and as well as a lower monthly income. Next, marital status as an affecting variable. We have considered three other variables such as marital status, total working years, and monthly income to analyze how the marital status can be affecting variable for the attrition. So, under marital status, we can see that uh, job level being the highest contributor for attrition in every status such as single, married, and divorced. The highest contribution comes from the job level fund. Considering total working years, we can say that at first year we have highest attrition levels when compared to other years, and in first year we can see that the highest contributors are singles when compared to the married and divorced. This can be explained from the variable monthly income. So here we can see that monthly income for single, divorced, and married employees are less than when compared to the people who tend to work in the company. From these inferences, we can say singles are the major contributor towards attrition and at lower job levels, and they might likely to quit at uh, 1 year of their work experience due to their lower monthly income. Next is variable total working years. Here again we have considered job level, age and monthly income to analyze how total working years can be the affecting variable for the acquisition. So we can see that from total working years plot, uh, people who tend to quit at the first year of their working are are only from the job level one. And we can say that majority of the people who tend to quit in the initial year of their working are from the job level one. And on each year, we can also infer that employees age of people who are quitting at 1 year of their total work experience are within the age group of 33 years. This may be because uh, they are getting a lower monthly income, which is less than 5,000 for the year less than 1 year. So we can see the cluster which is formed from 0 to 3 years of total working years. So from all these inferences, we can conclude that total working years can be the affecting variables for attrition, and employees are more likely to quit at 1 year of their work experience uh, due to the uh, due to the lower monthly income and as well as lower age level. This brings us to the end of our EDA process, and furthermore, we can go with feature selection in feature engineering stage, and then we can proceed with modeling, evaluation, and deployment phase, and then we have our model which helps us to know about our employees who quit or not quit based upon his previous past data. So, thank you.